I'm trying Goop Kitchen for the first time. Alright, before I go any further, I want to give a history rundown of how fucking difficult it was to make this fucking table. Alright? I have a earlier video on my channel, or I uploaded like a video like earlier, like fucking like 3 or 4 years ago. That's when I started building this table. I still had acne on my face then. That's how I was 18 then, and now I'm 22. If you're inexperienced and your art teacher tells you to go all out on a project, don't do it. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. So beforehand, I was watching a lot of YouTube videos from Blacktail Studio. The guy of that channel, like, he's like really skilled and whatever, and he made things look so fucking easy. So I was like, oh, you just buy a piece of wood, you cut it in half, you pour some plastic into it. I had forgotten that wood is like a membrane. You can have liquids enter and exit it, so it sort of acts like a sponge. When I poured the first pour of epoxy, I didn't realize that you actually had to seal off the wood. So like a bunch of epoxy wouldn't just like be soaked into the wood. So a good chunk of money went into that first lesson. Depending on how dry or wet wood is how it decides to bend and when it decides to bend. Not only was it a pain in the ass to find a CNC machine to fucking flatten out my piece of wood, but imagine some kid also using the CNC machine in the workshop and fucking breaking it while you're mid-project. Some kid broke the CNC machine while I was in the middle of my fucking project. Where the fuck do you find a CNC machine? And apparently a bunch of people said like epoxy's like super terrible to inhale or something or whatever. That's why a bunch of other people wouldn't work on it. So that fucked me up a little bit extra. So when I was pouring the epoxy, I had to make a mold, and apparently you're supposed to really lather up this mold with a lot of oil, and apparently I didn't do that. So when I tried to pry the mold off, it stuck onto the back of the piece of the fucking wood. But you know, 4 years later, this was a back burner project. I mean, I probably spent like a total of like 20 hours on this. With my table looking like this in the beginning, like, I think that I did a pretty good job. Like, this table is usable, it is flat. So I did like an overnight pour on this thing, so because there was like a bunch of holes and all that shit. So what I did basically was I just got more black epoxy and just filled up all these holes. So then now there's a bunch of these splotches, and I just have to fucking grind it all off today. But this is what it looks like with 1 round of sanding. This looks like shit, dude. I can't even lie, this looks like shit. You'd still see that there's like, I fucked up on the sanding. I wasn't completely even on it, so there's still like some scratch marks, but whatever. It's gonna get scratch marks from me using it anyways, so. Wow, there's like a actual table now. Oh, my fingers. There we go. Bro, are you serious, bro? Dude, look at this. The fucking DJI, what the fuck, man? Dude, the fucking cover for the magnet fell off. What the fuck? I just bought like a bunch of Aesop shit. So I also bought a hand soap for my old professor. She's like an old lawyer, but she's also a producer. But she was the one who found me a lawyer for when I got hit by that fucking police guy. But yeah, just some nice Aesop hand soaps. Aesop hand soaps? Aesop hand soaps. So I'm probably just gonna have this in a bag for her, and I'll just put this in here. Yeah, and then it kind of looks like that fabric that you put, that fucking packaging fabric on top. Dude, this looks nice. Look at that, perfect. And then for my aunts and uncles, I probably don't have to package any of these. Yeah, I don't gotta package any of these. I'll just give it to them like this. And then I also got something for myself, which I normally fucking hate. I would never buy this. But 2025, I gotta lock the fuck in, like looks wise. So I bought perfume. Or is it perfume or cologne? Whatever, perfume's for girls, right? I bought smelly water, very expensive smelly water. For like, it was like $200 for a small ass bottle. I couldn't believe it. But they gave me like gave me a body cleanser for free. And then a bunch of like packets. Before I go to China, I also have to clean up the fish tank. My little Tetra's in there. I gotta clean up the glass. I gotta take out some of the water because some of the water has like too much like minerals in it. So I gotta the KH and pH and all that shit is too high. So oh, look at them. But I think it looks really nice, dude. Like with the sticks and stuff. And then I have like a little like I have my pothos up here, but like the roots are kind of drying out right there. But I got my pothos. And then the roots are coming down, and then I have some of the other plants. I gotta clean up this. I gotta clean up this shit. So you know what? Let's just do that real quick. Some piss water just fell onto my foot. This is low-key disgusting. You gotta measure it, make sure it's 78. Oh, it's 79. My fish are dying. They're dying, bruh. They're dying. Oh! Whoopsies. Last one. The problem I've had with having fish was that like I've had nightmares about neglecting fish. And like when you neglect fish, or like basically like when like someone who like dies unattended with a fish tank is like found after like months, like their fish tank like looked like just like a rotting box where like
all the fish in it have just like rotted to like bones, and it just smells like fucking ass. And like all the mineral from the water is like sticking on the side of the glass. So I've had like those type of nightmares where it's just like I like don't take care of my fish good enough. Foggy. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're all there. And now where's my gluttonous shrimp? But I bought a bunch of other shit from Erewhon because my cousins and all like that. My cousins like to eat a lot and like they like candy and all that stuff. So I got like the ground coffee. I got dried cherries. And then I got like these fucking pills. It's like vitamin pills or something like that. They're vitamin pills. Gummy vitamins for adults. And then I had a business idea very close to this one. But basically, so like the good thing about this, like the oil that I used, it was like the oil actually hardens overnight. So like what ends up happening is that like whatever scratches or like dents I had in the table, like the oil kind of like fills in like the little like scratches and just kind of like solidifies. I already have a fucking, how did I do that? Whatever. And so basically it just like fills in the holes of like any like scratches that I had left over, and it basically just like fills it up. So, and like everything just ends up being like super fucking smooth. So that's another reason why I like this. So less work for me. But yep, now I gotta edit this shit. So I hate editing. All right, I'll see you later.